Our position previews continue on LibertyFlames.com. I'm Alan York, now joined by linebackers coach Josh Bookbinder. And before we talk about your players, Josh, let's talk about the summer for you. Did you get away for a little bit? How was it?
I did. It was wonderful. I got to go visit my wife's family up in Vancouver, so that was a nice, cool trip. And then we made the trip to Texas as well to visit my family, so we got a little bit of both the cool and the hot weather.
And now we're here talking linebackers in 2014, a position that you're in charge of. And I'm going to start right now with your bell cow, Nick Sigmon, a senior who's played a lot of football for you. Where does he take the next step here in his final season?
Well, Nick is a kid that from right up the road in Roanoke, kind of hometown kid, and has just been a flat-out playmaker for Liberty's defense for several years. I think Nick being here this summer and working out, coming off the season and coming out of spring ball several years in a row, he's had nagging injuries. And this is the first summer that Nick has been really 100% healthy and really been able to go through a full off-season program. So his body's made some nice changes. Even being an older guy, it sounds weird to say, but his body's looking good and he's feeling good on his feet and he's healthy. So I think Nick's going to continue to be a great playmaker, and mentally he's made some jumps too in the meeting room. He's been watching film and he's pointing out things to me that I can just tell mentally he's growing going into his last year here.
As we go down the list, I'm going to talk about a couple more fellow seniors. Andrew Yacht is another one that's played a lot of football. How is he going to contribute this year? Yeah,
another hometown guy from right here at LCA. Yacht is a really, really good athlete. When you go in the weight room and you look at the numbers and the guys athletically, what they're doing, he's one of those guys. He was really kind of one of the guys on special teams last year, making a lot of plays on special teams. And then at Sam Backer, he's a reliable guy that is going to make some plays for us. He's physical. He's the type of guy that he's going to hit you. So Yacht is going to be a guy that we're going to count on this year to be a playmaker all over the field. Go ahead.
Bobby Partell is another one that, again, another senior who's played a lot of football, and you hear the likes of Sigmund and Yacht and Partell. Those three guys, we've called their names out a lot, whether it be special teams or defensively. So, Bobby, where has he made strides so far this summer?
Well, again, Bobby's another guy that has had a little bit of a nagging deal with his knee and stuff. And this summer, I've talked to him pretty consistently, and he said, "Coach, my knee's feeling great. I feel 100% health for the first time in a while." And Bobby's another guy that's really, really gifted athletically, and we can do some interesting things with him, at the Sam Backer spot. So it'll be fun to get Bobby back out there at full health and see him run around. And he's another guy that has made plays on this defense, so he knows what it's like to go out there and play with confidence and make plays.
I think, Josh, one other linebacker that we'll talk about is Jimmy O'Grady. I know last year for him was sort of, if an individual player can have a breakout year for them individually, Jimmy was one that made a lot of plays, and you still have a couple more years with him to develop him.
Jimmy's a guy that kind of everybody rallies around. He's a guy that's got a really vibrant personality, and that guy loves to be here at the football facility doing whatever we're doing, whether it's lifting weights, practicing, game day, meeting. It doesn't matter. Jimmy loves the game and loves to be here. And he's a guy that also got healthy, had a great summer in the weight room, and we're counting on him to be a playmaker too. You're right, he made plays last year, and Jimmy's a guy that we're counting on this year.
Off-season, a lot of self-scout, self-evaluation goes on in football programs, and you decide maybe moving players to better the team. One player, Nick Newman, who played in the secondary last year, now you move him to linebacker. Why was that change made, and what prospects do y'all have for him now kind of in the middle of that linebacking core?
Sure. Nick coming out of high school last year was a bit of an anomaly in terms of you saw him on the field playing defensive end, you saw him on the field playing receiver, punt returner, kick returner. And when you turned on his film, you said, this kid's just a straight athlete. We said, we want to get him here, figure out what he can and can't do, and then we're going to plug him in where he fits best in the defense. So him training last year in the back end with Coach Roberts, who's the best in the business in the secondary, he got that training in the back end, and then moving him down this year, he started putting on a little weight, his body started to develop, and he's a guy that having that training back there and moving down kind of sees the big picture. And then couple that with some really gifted athletic ability. He's a guy that's got an opportunity to make some plays this year.
Josh, for those of us that have followed the Liberty football program, the last name Llewellyn is pretty popular with Bryant, who came through here, now coaching here, and his brother Dylan doing a great job at linebacker, and he's going to play a lot of football for you.
Yeah, Dylan's kind of core leadership on this team Dylan's a guy that everybody turns to when the bullets start flying, and he's got a presence in this program, kind of leading guys on and off the field. Dylan's a guy that has made plays in the past. You know, it's comforting when you got guys coming back that have been on the field, live action, have made plays, and Dylan's going to be a guy going in, starting at Will Backer, and he's going to do a great job for us.
And a handful of other players we'll talk about: Dexter Robbins, Miles Hunter, Lucas Irons, and Devontae Brown. 4 guys that maybe not a lot of the fans know about, but they'll hear about as the season moves on.
Yeah, it's been nice having these guys. You talk about Dexter and Devontae and Miles. Miles has been in the program for a couple years now. He was another guy that got trained on the back end before he moved down to linebacker. So he's got some unique athletic ability, especially in coverage, and he can play multiple spots at linebacker. So Miles is another guy that we're going to plug in and see if he can make some plays. And then Dexter coming in last year, got a lot of experience on special teams, a guy that can really run, and he'll hit you. Dexter's a country boy from Tennessee, Coach Torbush country, and he will run and he will hit you. And then Devontae actually came to us as a walk-on last year and started out at D-line. And when he started moving around and running around, we said this guy might be able to stand up and play linebacker. So Devontae, a walk-on kid from Greensboro, North Carolina, that is a really, really good athlete that, again, will run, will hit you. So we're going to plug him in and get him some reps and see what he can do.
And Josh, when you tell people about the philosophy for your linebackers, what do you tell people?
It's interesting you said that. We had a meeting last night, and we talked about what our vision as a linebacking group is. And we, not just on the field, but our vision for our guys is to attain a degree while contributing to a championship football team and growing socially and spiritually. So we talk about, those 4 areas. And if we can build guys up equally in all 4 of those areas, the product's going to show on the field.
Well, it already has started to be fruitful for this team as well. The linebacking core now with under the tutelage of Josh Bookbinder. Josh, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Alan. Appreciate you.
Be sure to log on to libertyflames.com for more position previews here in 2014.